It's clearly one that is not fit for repeating, unless it's 7 o'clock and Will's here reading the news. Some of the headlines you're waking up to eventually this morning. Jack Draper beat Thomas Machak to reach the quarterfinals of the US Open. He's the first Briton to reach the last 8 of the men's singles since Andy Murray in 2016. He's only the 5th ever to reach the quarterfinals.
I tell you, unless I'm mistaken, I had a look last night, it was a really comfortable victory as well. Was it those 3 sets? 6
battered him.
Yeah.
About an hour and 40 minutes. He hasn't dropped a set.
And he beat him 3 times. The last 3 times they played, he'd beat him as well.
Exactly. He's flying at the moment. But he's got a tough quarterfinal as well coming up against the number 10 seed. But hey,
you never know.
Well, you just wondered. The obvious question is, can he do an Emma Raducanu? Wow, how great would that be for men's tennis in this country, which needs a bit of a boost after the departure of Andy Murray. Yeah. Cristiano Ronaldo says he has no plans to retire from international football yet. I think that was absolutely predictable, wasn't it, Coisty, that regardless of how he did in the Euros, he was going to carry on till the next World Cup. You and I will be sitting here next year after I've slept in again having the same discussion. He's going nowhere. They'll have to drag him screaming and fighting out of that, but he's not going to give it up, is he? He certainly isn't. It's certainly not until after the World Cup in the US, in my opinion. Yeah. Everton continued their worst ever start to a Premier League season by losing to Bournemouth despite leading 2-0 after 87 minutes. It's led to calls for Sean Dyche to leave them, but Darren Bent doesn't think any other manager would want the job.
As it stands right now, they're rock bottom.
Okay.
They've scored 2 and conceded 10.
And no points.
No points, right?
But why do you think the Everton fans will back him?
Because I think they've seen him get out of this before. But in this type of scenario, I'm not talking about a team that's middle of the road and playing good football. Who's going to come in and do a better job from there? And what manager's going to want to come in and get a better job than that?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Who's going to go in there and go, right, they're rock bottom of the table.
What managers will come in?
Yeah.
Or anyone?
I don't know about anyone.
Yeah. If you're offered a job at Premier League club, you can't lose. Worst things happen, you get sacked, you get paid off.
Okay, someone like Potter, would he go there? I think Graham Potter would rather be out of work than go there.
Well, I can think someone who would probably go there. Can you, Costi?
Oh, absolutely. Listen, there's always people who'd go there, and I don't care when it says the obvious choice because of obvious reasons would be David Moyes, who's not in a job, right? That's a given. That's a taken. A lot of people. I mean, Moyes, I think did a fantastic job at Everton in the past, but I take Benty's point to a degree where he thinks at this moment in time it's not the most attractive job, but to think that people wouldn't take it is completely wrong. Somebody like Potter might not take it, but there'll be a list, the length of of people that would take it, and certainly one that would fit the bill from Everton's point of view would without doubt be David Moyes, but I don't see it happening. I think Sean Dyche will be given time to turn the fortunes of Everton around. And I still do not. I think they'll be okay. I genuinely do. I mean, the result, I said to you yesterday, Jeff, the mental effect on the team is something that would be a concern after a result like that. Because you've played, by all accounts, and I watched the highlights, by all accounts, you played really well, dominated the game, 2-0 up with 3 minutes to go, and you end up. So that is a real mental thing that they're going to have to get over. But I still think they'll be okay.
I'll reserve judgment about whether they'll be okay, but one thing I won't reserve judgment about is it's nonsense to be talking about getting rid of Sean Dyche at this stage, 3 games in. And as you said, for most of that game against Bournemouth, they were by far the better side. Green shoot, Stephen Huddersfield's absolutely slaughtered me. He said, forget Everton, Rangers and Manchester United. The worst performance of the weekend has to be Jeff on Antiques Road Trip. It was repeated on BBC Two last night.
Oh, missed it. You kept that quiet.
Steve says, from his inept negotiations...
Were you on the show or were you one of the relics?
From his inept negotiations to breaking a 100-year-old relic, all chaotically leading to a huge £70 loss, a record player with the expert did not want to buy. Don't let him off, Ali. It was a shocker.
What's that?
No, the biggest shock was I'd gone for this absolutely beautiful old-fashioned record player plus albums, and it did sell just for not as much as I'd imagined. Whereas Cammy had gone from these 1966 cheap and nasty World Cup souvenirs, and they went for a fortune.
I know. That's amazing. Is that what he did he?
Yeah, that's what he did, and consequently, he did batter me. It is fair to say I was the Rangers of the antique road trip.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.